Father John Mark Solitario first discovered his vocation as a Dominican priest at the Monastery of the Mother of God in West Springfield. It was there that he was witness to the Dominican sisters as they followed God's call in their lives, a journey he also would undertake, culminating with his ordination on May 25th at the Basilica of the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. Father Solitario returned to West Springfield June 9th to celebrate Mass in his home parish of St. Thomas the Apostle. David Martin reports.
Family, friends, and parishioners gathered as Father John Mark Solitario celebrated Mass for the first time as an ordained Dominican priest at his home parish of St. Thomas the Apostle. It was a family affair, as his own father, Gerald Solitario, who was a deacon at the parish, assisted on the altar.
It's a great grace. Like many of the graces of the priesthood, I think it's going to take a lot of time for them to sink in. But it's certainly very meaningful to be back with many of the people that I grew up with and who have been praying for me all along throughout my formation as a Dominican friar and priest. And so to be here to celebrate the Mass with them means a whole lot, and it helps me remember of the fact that we remain united in Christ.
Deacon Solitario was pleased with the large turnout attending the Mass. After recently observing the ordination and first Masses of Father Solitario, Deacon Solitario described assisting on the altar during a Mass celebrated by his son as the icing on the cake. He said as a parent, one must take steps to determine exactly what God is calling each child to do.
With Father John Mark, we were suspicious in the beginning that, that this is what he's drawn to. But you've got to let him answer the call. You don't want them to think they're doing something to make their parents happy. So you have to really leave room for God to enter their life and to call them.
The Dominican friars, or the Order of Preachers, because of their mission in the Church and religious observance, are free to spend more time studying, preaching the gospel, and offering one-on-one services to others, especially the younger generation.
Specifically being prophets, if you will, prophets after the manner of Christ, how he calls us to proclaim the truth of God's gospel, a truth that will truly set people free and be liberating for the Church.
Father Solitario said the Dominican order exists to be in service of the Church through praising, blessing, and preaching God through his son Jesus. It's a growing order, attracting a lot of young people.
And they're very, very effective. The Eastern Province, which he's a part of, their numbers are very high. They're back to where they were in the 70s. So they're attracting a lot of young men, as are their sisters are attracting a lot of young women. So even though they're 800 years old, they're getting younger, and they're just so healthy and so on fire and so in love with God, and it shows. It's drawing people back to Christ.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing, yeah.
Another family member participating during the Mass was Father Solitario's mother, Margaret, as a choir member and lector.
Yeah, our family has been blessed incredibly with him and my daughters, and people could see what it really does for a family. They would definitely encourage their children to go into this type of vocation.
Solitario is hopeful others see how happy her son is serving God, and that his caring nature will bring more people into the Church. Father Solitario offered first blessing to those attending the Mass.
There's a special and mysterious way that suddenly you represent Christ for them, and you carry Christ in you. So it's a great honor to listen to their special prayer requests, and then to really lift them up through the prayer of blessing, asking God in a very special way to pour down his grace into their lives.
Father Solitario will be spending the summer assisting at the Dominicans' new parish, St. Patrick's in Center City, Philadelphia, and then will return to Washington, D.C. to complete his degree in theology. He is preparing to be a teacher at high school, college, or seminary level to help others find the true meaning of Christ in their lives. For Real to Real, I'm David Martin.
Father Solitario says he is grateful to all those in the Diocese of Springfield who've supported him on the road to the priesthood, and especially the Dominican nuns.